Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening. I'd like to provide the American people with an update on our efforts to protect the integrity of our very important 2020 election. If you count the legal votes, I win, easily. If you count the illegal votes, they can try to steal the election from us. If you count the votes that came in late, we're looking very strong, but a lot of votes came in late. I've already decisively won many critical stakes, including massive victories in Florida, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio, just to name a few. We won these and many other victories despite historic election interference from big media, big money, and big tech. As everybody saw, we won by historic numbers, and the pollsters got it knowingly wrong. They got it knowingly wrong. We had the polls that so ridiculous, and everybody knew it. There was no blue wave that they predicted. They thought there was going to be a blue wave. That was false. That was done for suppression reasons. But instead, there was a big red wave, and it's been properly acknowledged by the media. They were, I think, very impressed, but that was after the fact. That doesn't do us any good. We kept the Senate despite having twice as many seats to defend as Democrats, and in really much more competitive states. We did a fantastic job with the Senate. I think we're very proud with what's happening there. We had more seats defended. They spent almost $200 million on Senate races in South Carolina and Kentucky alone. 2 races and hundreds of millions of dollars overall against us. At the national level, our opponents' major donors were Wall Street bankers and special interests. Our major donors were police officers, farmers, and everyday citizens. Yet, for the first time, we lost 0 races in the House. I was talking to Kevin McCarthy today. He said he couldn't believe it. 0 racist. Very unusual 0. Actually won many new seats with, I think, many more on the way. This was also the year of the Republican woman. More Republican women were elected to Congress than ever before. That's a great achievement. I won the largest share of non-white voters of any Republican in 60 years, including historic numbers of Latino, African American, Asian American, and Native American voters, the largest ever in our history. We grew our party by 4 million voters, the greatest turnout in Republican history. Democrats are the party of big donors, the big media, the big tech, it seems, and Republicans have become the party of the American worker. That's what's happened. We're also, I believe, the party of inclusion. As everyone now recognizes, media polling was election interference in the truest sense of that word by powerful special interests. These phony polls, I have to call them phony, fake polls, were designed to keep our voters at home, create the illusion of momentum for Mr. Biden, and diminish Republicans' ability to raise funds. They were what's called suppression polls. Everyone knows that now, and it's never been used to the extent in which it was this last election. To highlight a few examples, the day before election, Quinnipiac, which was very wrong on every occasion that I know of, had Joe Biden up by 5 points in Florida. They were off by 8.4 points. I won Florida easily. So they had me losing Florida by a lot. I ended up winning Florida by a lot. Other than that, they were very accurate. They had him up 4 points in Ohio. They were off by 12.2 points. I also won Ohio. Great state of Ohio, very easily. And the Washington Post said, Biden up 17 points in Wisconsin, and it was basically even. They were off by about 17 points. They knew that. They're not stupid people. They knew that. Suppression. There are now only a few states yet to be decided in the presidential race. Voting apparatus of those states are run in all cases by Democrats. We were winning all the key locations by a lot, actually, and then our numbers started miraculously getting whittled down away, secret, and they would not allow legally permissible observers. We went to court in a couple of instances, and we were able to get observers put in. They wanted, when the observers got there, they wanted them 60, 70 feet away, 80 feet, 100 feet away, or outside the building to observe the people inside the building. We won the case, a big case, and we have others happening. There are a lot of litigation, even beyond our litigation. There's a tremendous amount of litigation, generally because of how unfair this process was. I predicted that I've been talking about mail-in voting for a long time, and it's really destroyed our system. It's a corrupt system, and it makes people corrupt even if they aren't by nature. But they become corrupt. It's so easy. They want to find out how many votes they need, and then they seem to be able to find them. They wait, and they find them. And you see that on election night. We were ahead in North Carolina by a lot, a tremendous number of votes. And we're still ahead by a lot, but not as many because we're finding ballots all of a sudden. Oh, we have some mail-in ballots. It's amazing how those mail-in ballots are so one-sided. I know it's supposed to give the advantage to the Democrats, but in all cases, they're so one-sided. We were up by nearly 700,000 votes in Pennsylvania. I won Pennsylvania by a lot. And it gets whittled down to, I think they said, 90,000 votes. They keep coming and coming and coming. They find them all over, and they just don't want us to have any observers. Although we won the court case, the judge said, you have to have observers, likewise, in Georgia, and they're appealing. Actually, they're appealing. We want a case where we want people to watch, and we want observers, and they're actually appealing, which is sort of interesting. I wonder why they'd appeal. All we want is to have people watch as they do the vote tabulations. Likewise, in Georgia, I won by a lot, with a lead of over getting close to 300,000 votes on election night in Georgia. By the way, got whittled down to now what is perhaps a lot to even a little. In Georgia, a pipe burst in a faraway location, totally unrelated to location of what is happening, and they stopped counting for 4 hours. And a lot of things happened. The election apparatus in Georgia is run by Democrats. We also had margins of 300,000 in Michigan. We were way up in Michigan. We won that state. And Wisconsin, we did likewise fantastically well. And in every case, it got whittled down. Thank you. That one's extremely hard to stay straight-faced through.
I can imagine.
Especially because the more we talked about it, the more we started joking about things, and so